Yes. Yesterday was the longest, craziest bike ride I've ever done in my life. We did the backside of Mount Lemmon again, which is a ride that Waddy and I did back in May of this year. But we had taken the southern to the east approach before coming up the backside. It was a little less than 100 miles, I think, that day. And yesterday was the Ben Hoffman approach, which was, for me, a total of 158 miles in the saddle. So definitely the longest I've ever done. So we met at, I think it was 6 a.m. on the bike path kind of near River and Oracle.
Hey Hoff, ride leader, what are we doing today?
We are riding bikes for 10 hours. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ride some gravel up north and yeah, potentially up the backside of Lemmon. So, right, Jesse?
Yeah, 100%. I'm all in.
So like how many miles is that going to be? 160?
Yeah, 160.
Yeah.
With about, I don't know, 15,000 feet of climbing maybe. Should be good.
Oh, wow.
I'm just going to follow Heather all day.
It was 6 of us that rolled out together, and we basically just headed about 30 miles north up Oracle Road, which is just kind of like a long, slight uphill. Still a main road in Tucson, but yeah, just a pretty good stretch, get things going before a left onto Willow Springs Road, and that is the first dirt section. So we turned off and you get onto this stretch of just kind of long dirt gravel road rollers. There's nothing out there. Pretty beautiful, just you have the mountains on either side of you. So it was a new road for me. Waddy and I have never ridden out there. It's just beautiful. It was still early morning light because I think it was still 7, 8 a.m. So just beautiful, and we were kind of just getting going. We got onto that road and a couple stretches where people were kind of taking flyers, pushing the pace, and I'm pretty sure they were just going for some Strava segments, but it was fun. Just fun to, yeah, be out with friends riding and seeing these new cool roads. That got us to about, I think mile 40-ish, where the road kind of tees, and we stopped and regrouped there and refilled bottles since we were about 2.5, 3 hours in, and most of us out of liquids at that point. So that was kind of the first, I guess, stretch. After the first regroup, kind of the end of Willow Springs Road, we got a bit of a descent down, still on dirt. Before we kind of teed with what turned into the next road segment. We made a right, and I believe we were back on Route 77 was the road, but we were in Dudleyville area, again a new place I'd never been, but it was just kind of a long uphill highway stretch that took us towards Mammoth. We're at the Rancheros Carniceria.
No, what town is this?
We're in Mammoth.
Mammoth, Arizona.
Mammoth, Arizona. Mammoth Lakes, California.
Yeah. How many miles is this in?
What are we at? Sure, maybe 80-ish. checked the time and it's not even 11 yet, so we can get some caffeine in.
Why are you throwing candy for, bro? An accident, dude.
And then from Mammoth, the group kind of split. A couple people headed back for Tucson, and the group, which ended up being just 3 of us at this point, headed towards kind of the San Manuel area, which is kind of the bottom backside of Mount Lemmon. This was still all road, just long stretches of highway, super windy out there, and it heated up by then. We were probably at like 11 or noon by now. So things were getting hot, it was windy, and just some long highway stretches that were pretty wearing before what we all knew was coming, which was the backside of Mount Lemmon climb. Walking up the backside. So after Webb Road, quick refill again, and then we kind of had a bit of a drop down towards the final turn off from road back onto dirt. That kind of marked the start of the climb up the backside of Mount Lemmon.
Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists, silly on block, Bambi. Baby's yellow, text. She wanna eat me like candy. Running through racks, track me. I run up the racks like an athlete. Big facts, you're the dick, 6 flags. Ballin' like think facts, told her I love her. I ain't really mean that, yeah. Nowadays these people like friends. Remember way back she was love. These bitches sneaky can't cover. I got 4 hoes that went top. I remember. Remember I was selling dog food, no kibbles, just to get me some skrilla. Remember I was really on the block like Tetris, just to get me some chip. Surfing, rock in the parking lot, my weed lighter, like the gay bubble light. I be on her mind like non-stop, yeah, had to cut the little thought, no tomahawk. Remember smoking blunts with my friends.
When the backside of Lemmon kicks up, you know when it's coming. So probably the most positive thing of the last stretch was actually seeing that Pepper Sauce Campground does exist. Because Pepper Sauce has a watering hole where you can fill bottles if you're caught in an emergency at the bottom before the climb starts. We just missed it back in May when Wadi and I did the ride. So yeah, that last stretch, by far the hardest up the backside. It was in way worse condition than when Wadi and I rode it. It was super loose, super rocky. I don't remember it being that hard back in May, so.
We don't wanna go war. Only make hapla, we don't wanna go war. Only make hapla.
Holy crap. That was harder than first.
Yeah.
It's pretty sandy, rocky.
It seemed fine at about 6 hours, and then at 8 hours it was no longer fine. Yeah, it's definitely hard, man. I did this ride one other time, and I somehow managed to forget in the course of like 6 months just how hard it is. So, probably in like another 6 months. I'll be dumb enough to try it again.
The scars will be gone.
Yeah, I'll be back up here again.
We're at the top of Mount Lemmon. My clock reads 8 hours, 10 minutes. So we're at the top. That was pretty harsh. I think a little rougher than the first time you and I did it, so glad to be at the top, but we still have about 40 miles home, so yeah, day's not done. It is almost 4 p.m., so we're looking at, I don't even know, 6 p.m. finish, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. today. We got the descent on the road down Mount Lemmon.
Put this hill here.
And it was all downhill.
Me dice que la quiere tocar, sé que tú te quieres tocar. Me dice que me quiere amar, solamente quiere jugar. Me dice que la quiere tocar, sé que tú te quieres tocar. Me dice que me quiere amar, solamente quiere jugar. Sé que a ti te tengo aprendida, sé que a ti te gusta esta vida, superando todo lo que hacía. Este es mi nueva melodía. Esta falda corta me encantó, ese baile nuevo me encendió, como me lo mueve con sabor. Mami, mejor dame de tu amor.
Once you get down the mountain, it's still about 20 miles home for us. So even post-descent, we still weren't done. So yeah, rolled into the house around 6 p.m. or so, 158 miles later, 10 hours on the bike. Yeah, pretty crazy day. Wow. No, this is our next attempt. Jesus.
What are you looking at, Gil?
Yo.
The Cheez-Its.
What?
Bike in the car, ass on this seat.
First bottle.